All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course. I'm going to unpause and repause it to make sure that I'm not seeing my ugly mug in dual. That would be bad. But I'd get bulimia probably or something like that. Anyways, we have some news to cover today. I do have some things docketed, actually. First, we have to talk about Trump potentially buying a Tesla. Tesla stock is down because of the Doge thing, and the legacy media is rambling about them and attacking them. So that's the first article. Trump potentially buying a Cybertruck, actually. He's already got a dump truck, so, he might as well add to his collection, I suppose. We've got to talk about Tulsi Gabbard revoking security clearance for a bunch of people. We'll get into the entire list. Don't worry, I'll read that out verbatim. In fact, I'll docket that right away. The price of eggs is also big in the news, actually. It's plummeting at the moment, down 11% from peak. Trump is not going to get any credit for this. They'll claim that Biden, for some reason, was responsible for that. We'll get into the nuance as well, because there's plenty of it. By the way, I shouldn't be opening up. No, I don't. Just a sec. This might screw with my camera. Please don't open Logi. Please don't do that. I misclicked. Okay, I seem to still be there. We got to talk about the Romanian elections. Defending democracy by denying democracy doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we've seen that before. And then also 538 has been shut down, actually. Yeah, the site that MSNBC, I believe it was, owned it. Has decided to shut down 538, which Nate Silver actually very wisely walked away from last year, if I remember correctly, or 2 years ago. He took his money and ran, and he was right to do so. So we got to give Nate Silver some begrudging, some begrudging credit. Privateer of the East. First Elon derangement syndrome is real. I know. Last beacon, if you're going to clank over and over and say butt sex and stuff like that, just leave a Rumble rant. Otherwise, you're disrupting other people. I can't make accommodations for just one person on the chat. I mean, I can, but Anton is here. That means we've got our bovrite that we have to eat. Mulgara. Clank. Morning, Styx. I ain't exactly a happy camper with Trump for demanding the scalp of Massey, the best member of Congress. Massey made a mistake on that one, though, with the continuing resolution. I would docket that, but I have a feeling that everyone else in the world is talking about it already, so it's going to get drowned out, and it's kind of non-functional. Bovrite. Man, that would give me heartburn. Yeah, no, I could eat the whole jar in one go. I like salty foods. Yeah, Anton is here. One of our top clankers, by the way. He can hook you up with the delicious meat. He can hook you up with the delicious seasonings and so forth. And with Styx, Hex, and Hammer mugs and tumblers and shirts and things like that. Just saying. Yeah, Anton is one of the main dudes of the channel, actually, at this point. A dude named Clem. Why is the screen blank? Troll. Yeah. Yeah, no, we did have technical difficulties the other day, and I had to skip out on Jeremy early anyway. But for some reason, Rumble and X were being targeted considerably the other day. I don't know what the hell was happening. Apparently, there's some Palestinian hacker group that took credit, but then Elon Musk was saying that it was Ukrainian in origin, and then it might just be trolling or something like that. I have no clue. I have no idea. Gray Heaven Fall. Styx should grow a long beard. If I start balding, I'll definitely do that. Like if my long locks are unfortunately gone, then yeah, I'll grow the big beard. Yeah. Mulgera, I'm going to disagree with you here. I think Massey is right. This CR would render all Doge has done null and void. It's no different than a Democratic Party endorsed CR. Doge will continue to do its work. I have no doubt about that. If Trump's recent statements are any indicator, it won't be a problem. And then the follow-up, Dark Storm was the name of the group. Good Lord, what an edgy fucking name, lol. Yeah, I saw that story and thought it was pretty funny. But we're not exactly sure who was actually responsible. It's just like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and similar groups. They take credit for things that they didn't do. I have a feeling that might be the case here. Long Dong John. Hi, Styx. Long time no see live. So I never got to ask you in a timely fashion. Who would have made the worst president, Hillary or Kamala? Kamala, quite clearly. There's no comparison. Hillary is evil, but she's sane. That makes her more dangerous in some ways, but at the very least, she knows how to string a sentence together. With Kamala Harris, the sanity level is questionable, basically. BW Styx, I heard from one of my other channels that Doge may be getting ready to send out checks. What do you think? That would help in the midterms, or should he wait until closer to them? I don't really care myself. It could be that they're going to send out a stimulus, but this was tried under George W., and it didn't really stimulate anything. So I would just do it as like a tax reduction. Just permanently reduce the tax rate, and everyone will be perfectly fine. Jordan Cogburn, good morning, Styx. I'm one of the Christians that appreciate your content. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've become less acerbic towards Christians. Originally, I thought that my war was with Christianity. Then I realized it's just the organized religion aspect of it, like the priesthood and stuff like that, that's the problem. Regular, everyday Christians aren't a problem to me. Mulgera, I'd say Clinton would be worse. She'd know what she'd be doing. Kamala, being the retarded wine drunk aunt, could be played like a fiddle. Yeah, but that's the problem. What if somebody more corrupt than Kamala Harris is pulling the strings? That's the whole point. With Hillary Clinton, nobody's going to control her. You already know that she's evil. She's like Cruella de Vil, basically. Somebody's texting me. I'll take care of that later. Nipple rot. Fart, 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 fart. Again, I don't care what you post on Rumble Rants, but if you're going to repeatedly post, basically wall of spam, I would ask that you actually send a Rumble Rant. That's all I'm asking. So let's get to the first news of the day. BW. But people react better when they have the money in their hands. No one remembers tax cuts unless the rich get them. So that's why I was hoping I would do it. He would do it in the midterms. That does make sense, yeah. But only for politically pragmatic purposes. And Stephen Nizek, the only thing I regret about the stock market dip is that I didn't wait for that dip before buying stocks. Crowcrocs, why did the sponsors abandon you? They didn't. I'm just simply trying to establish communication. Using Twitter DM is not necessarily the most effective way to communicate with people when you're in a business capacity. So what I wanted to do is contact the people that are sponsoring the channel, give them my email, which I'll be doing after this live stream, which is why I'm going early actually, and then go from there. That's what I intended to do. We'll be reading out our sponsors later. And of course, I told them for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to keep them all in the docket anyway, read them out, whether they communicate with me at all or not, because I do actually enjoy all of their products. and 3 of them are above board. Several more have communicated with me at this time. And actually, I've got another person that's interested in sponsoring the channel as well. So I'm looking at the magic number being 5 or 6, basically, at a standard rate. Some people online apparently bristled at the fact that I had even talked about my sponsorship deals on a YouTube video, which I took down because it was meant to be temporary. I'm thinking to myself, God damn, you know, everyone's got to make a living, number one. Number two, you need better communication. Like Anton sends stuff to me on a weekly basis. He almost sends too much meat. I mean, there's still some in my freezer. I can't even eat it all. What am I supposed to do with my life? Well, Gara, good point. It's like Biden wasn't signing shit. Demons like Blinken were running the show behind the scenes. I think Blinken was actually part of the security clearance article that we're going to go through. Anyway, the first news story, though, is that Tesla stock is down. I would not own Tesla. I don't want an EV. I want a gasoline-powered vehicle. I'm not interested in electric vehicles. Insofar as you're going to have an electric vehicle, though, if you have that kind of fuck you money, which is what you need now to buy a vehicle at all, Tesla definitely is number one on that list. Personally, I would prefer an older model car, gasoline only, maybe a hybrid. That's okay. But I don't like a lot of computers in my car or anything like that. And the only thing that I would need is geo-navigation. And you can always get that separately. You don't have to have that built into the vehicle. I don't need the camera that shows you what you're seeing when you back up. That's actually a distraction to me. I would rather crane over my shoulder, and I'll do it the old school way. Maybe I'm old. Who cares? But I don't want a bunch of computers in the vehicle that if they get fried, the vehicle stops working. I want it to be an older school vehicle. Automatic transmission and anti-lock brakes are basically the end-all be-all as far as so-called modern technology with regards to vehicles. But when Trump comes out and says that he wants to buy a Tesla, this kind of countermands, doesn't it, the claims of the legacy media when they continuously, habitually bitch about Donald Trump and Elon Musk having a fallout. Oh, they don't like each other anymore. Well, okay, nipple rot, I'm sorry, but I'm putting you in a temporary timeout. I'm muting you for 5 minutes. Take it easy, nipple rot. I don't mind you saying fart over and over again over on Rumble, but at some point you're distracting other people who are also trying to speak. So please cut it out. Send a super chat. Send a Rumble rant. I believe in free speech, but that's the heckler's veto. That's no longer speech at all. Pilgrim Media. I've seen a Tesla blow up in floodwaters. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't get an EV. If it gets salt water on the lithium battery, it can literally start burning. That's a little bit of a problem. Now, if salt water washes up against your gasoline-powered car, you're all good. It might erode some things. You might have to get some topical damage taken care of. Maybe you've got barnacles or there's a shark under the hood or something like that. Other than that, you're good to go. You can start the car up and you can go about your business. If you've got an EV, unfortunately, and salt water interacts with that lithium battery in any way, you can get fucked in the ass. And it costs a lot to replace them, by the way. Michael Cricklow, I know you're an occultist, but do you acknowledge the God of Abraham as your creator? And do you believe Jesus Christ to be the Son of God? No, I'm an apatheist. King of Biltong. People think sponsors are abandoning creators. The economy sucks and sales took a huge dip after they tried to delete Trump in July. We dropped the small guys and only kept the main ones. Times are tough. Yeah, I'm one of the big guys. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a big man around town, man. I need to eat more biltong. I can't keep up with it. Anton, you're crazy, man. You send me an enormous amount of meat. I can't even eat it all. Even if I eat several handfuls a day, plus the bovrite, plus all the other snacks. Speaking of bovrite, it's impossible to keep up with it. I still haven't even tried the sugared ginger that you sent, the candied ginger. Yeah, baby. Looked like I just stuck my fingers in a chick's ass. Imagine eating soup. There's a subtle undertone that I really like with bovrite that you don't get with Vegemite or Marmite. And I can't exactly tell. But it's delicious. Pilgrim Media, are you a buccaneer all the time? Lol. Yes, I actually go out in public this way. This is how I look. If you see me around town, if you're in Rutland or Louisiana or something, this is exactly the way that I'm going to look. And I do actually launder my clothes and stuff like that. So don't worry. I'm not wearing the same shirt for a week in a row and not cleaning it. Mulgera, I was going to say it looks like you did work on your car, but I guess fingering a chick is better. Far more enjoyable. Lol. Now we've got cornfield shit saying fart over and over. I'm muting you for 5 minutes as well. I'm assuming you're the same person. Please stop. It's okay if you say fart over and over, but you need to pay to do so. What the fuck? Cornfield shits. Message was removed by moderator. Yeah, I refuse to hire any additional moderators because I don't want anyone having any creative control over what is said in my chat. I believe in unfettered free speech. Once you start spamming, you're no longer attempting to speak. You're effectively drowning out other people's speech. So it's a little bit different. What a weird day. Going live an hour early. Yeah. Spammers. Geeky Cat, Styx, I'm a Christian and had noticed you were no longer making derogatory remarks. I appreciate it as a longtime clanker. Thank you, too. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Christianity. Jesus is just all right with me. I just have a problem with organized religion. So if it's an organized church, them I have a problem with. Like on Ash Wednesday, I posted that AI-generated song, I Beat the Shit Out of the Priest, and which you should listen to. It's pretty funny. And it's like, it's literally about beating a priest who is a child molester. And some people had a problem with it. I'm like, did you even listen to the song? How can you possibly be against the messaging? Storyteller Grant. Starting a fruit and vegetable garden this year, Styx. I've heard you praise azomite and terra preta. Any tips on how to use it and how much? Cheers from the bowels of Oregon. You need very, very little azomite. You apply it with the seedling at the beginning of the year. Just a tablespoonful will be enough per seedling. That's literally all that you need. As regards terra preta, if you're using it for seedlings, you're going to want to take the charcoal, grind it. Don't grind it too fine. And then you sort of impregnate it with nitrogen. You can literally use piss for this if you want to. You're going to want to nitrogenate it. Otherwise, you'll create a soil imbalance. It'll be too much carbon, and it'll tend to leach nitrogen out of the soil. Unless you're using chemical fertilizer, I don't know if you do organic gardening or not. One tall order. Styx, did you see Trump declaring war on Thomas Massie? Honestly, extremely disappointing. Really hurts, that one, to be honest. I am neutral on this. I think this is not necessarily the hill to die on for Donald Trump, but I can understand why he would oppose Massie on it. BW, anti-Christianity. Shock content is so 2004. LMAO. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the whole Jesus Christ is gay thing is itself gay now, 20 years on. Ramon C GTC, we need a piece of biltong on our altar desk. Pilgrim Media, have you ever grown cactus from seed? Yes. Funny story. I buy some cactus seed mix, and I'm like, well, this will be fun. I'm going to put it in this sand, and I'm going to grow some cacti. And they start to grow. And they're doing really, really well, mind you. Then my cat at the time, Cleopatra, decided, hey, this bowl is circular and just about the right size. Let me sleep on the fucking cactuses. She literally went to sleep in the cactus bowl. I come into the office. She's curled up on the cacti. I'm like, hey, fucking get out of there. She gets out. They're all fucked up. So I'm like, well, this is a total loss. A couple of them managed to survive until the next time she did it. But she thought it was great. She's literally sleeping on cactuses. She was a little bit of a weirdo. I love that cat. Unfortunately, literally was petting her when she died, but and I miss her very greatly. But boy, oh boy, wasn't it a fun time when she was alive. She used to steal my socks and towels and random other clothing items, and she'd carry them around meowing to herself as though it was like she was carrying a baby or something like that. She would randomly grab me from behind. I'd be walking across the room, and she would just launch herself at my feet and grab onto my socks, and I'd be literally dragging her along. Great cat. Yeah, she would. Yes, exactly. Roman dude, cat stealing a towel. What the fuck? Yeah, she would take a full-size towel, hold it in her mouth, and she'd be all splayed out and like wander down into the basement, because I used to watch TV, back when that was a thing, down with my parents down there. And she would randomly grab the towel and she would just wander down the stairs with it in her mouth. Inland Surfer. Hi, Styx. A lot of diesels up in your neck of the woods. Are you a fan of it at all? A mechanical fuel pump equipped diesel will not stop until starved of fuel or air. No electricity necessary. Never driven a diesel vehicle, actually. Yeah, sounds fun. Dead Star X. Really, Styx, no mention of the InfoWars murder? Get your shit together. Yes, I know. An InfoWars reporter was murdered the other day, I believe in Austin. I would have docketed it, but I have too much to cover. I'll probably be covering that tomorrow. Cunning Patriot, it just hit me, Styx. Where are your cats? Doing cat stuff at the moment. They're around. They every fucking time that I go through the door to the garage for any reason whatsoever, I'm going downstairs, I'm going outside, whatever, there will be a cat there. And I've developed a theory. There was an article that I talked about. This has nothing to do with the news, by the way, at this point. There was an article that I covered, I think, a week ago. And scientists had researched how cats, technically speaking, exhibit some of the functions of fluids. So effectively, cats are part water. They're basically their real life Undine. And then I was thinking, well, cats also express osmosis, don't they? Whenever I open the door, if there are too many cats out or in, somebody goes through and they sort of equalize. And I was thinking, goddamn, cats really are basically water when you think about it. Dead Star X, yes, eggs, definitely more important than targeted killings of journalists. We don't have enough details to know that there was a targeted killing, though. We don't know that. So I'm one of those creators that's like, instead of doing clickbait, I would rather wait for more details to come out and then analyze it for myself ex post facto, if that makes sense. No offense. I mean, your criticism is Danley, has Styx talked about the tanker yet? I need more details. I don't know anything about that. You got to realize I can only cover so many news topics anyway in the time that I have. Tanker. No sodium cyanide on board, cargo ship owners say, as vessel still alight. Apparently a tanker was rammed. This happens frequently, by the way, off the coast of China. Vietnamese fishing boats have been rammed by Chinese tankers multiple times. London, an American man who said he was among the crew on the MV Stena Immaculate tanker when it was hit Monday by a cargo ship, causing both vessels to burst into flames off England's east coast, told CBS News the other ship came from out of the blue and rammed the Stena. Interesting. Oh, shit. Well, that's not good. One of them was carrying jet fuel. Yeah, I had seen the story, and I figured it's probably accidental in this particular region. Goodness. They had to get on the lifeboat and stuff. Many such cases. Mulgara, my cat has taken to sprinting up to my curtains. He's a wild dude, kind of retarded too, lol. Reminds me of Quincy. He's taken to running up and down the hallway randomly. Like he's not even trying to get anything or anything. He's just literally does it for sport, I guess. Sassmaster, what's your take on how the deportations are going? I'm afraid that if Trump and Holman don't follow through, it's going to lead to radicalization on the right and a violent backlash. So far, so good. You're going to have less deportations, by the way, over the next few years because you have less illegal crossings. Lucas Zapan, you had an opportunity for clickbait on this one. Simply remove the A before Tesla in your headline. Oh, yeah. Trump buys Tesla. Yeah, that would be clickbait. Next news story, though. I'm going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard and security clearance. I just wanted to read this verbatim. This one is pretty funny. Per POTUS directive, this is from DNI, Tulsi Gabbard herself, I have revoked security clearances and barred access to classified information for Antony Blinken, who was mentioned earlier, Jake Sullivan, Lisa Monaco, Mark Zaid, Norman Eisen, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, and Andrew Weissman, along with the 51 signers of the Hunter Biden disinformation letter. The president's daily brief is no longer being provided to former President Biden. Oh, what a backhand. Oh, what a backhand. I love it so much. I don't think that you understand how happy this makes me. This is exactly why I like Tulsi Gabbard. She is the queen of the backhand. She and Carrie Lake, I suppose. And I really, really hope that she ends up running mate for J.D. Vance when he probably runs in 2028. This is exactly what we need. You're revoking the security privileges for people who clearly shouldn't have security privileges. Under normal circumstances, this would just be a no-brainer. Okay, well, you've betrayed the public's trust and you're not doing the right thing, so you don't need access to these files. But it becomes politically pointed in the politically pointed atmosphere that we find ourselves in now. It shouldn't be, but insofar as you're going to have to operate in that atmosphere, you need people capable of doing so. Gabbard is one of those people. I believe that my judgment about her was fundamentally correct. I believe that her turnaround was genuine. She was effectively shoved aside by the Democratic Party and by the liberal movement more generally. And then she said, why the hell am I stumping for you? Maybe I need to reevaluate my beliefs. Something is wrong here. Oh, shit. Well, there's a populistic movement over there. That looks pretty good. Okay, well, then I'll go with them. And then she went over to the populistic movement, realized it was correct, and then the rest was history. I believe that her conversion, unlike many political conversions, is actually genuine. BW, you hear that joke about how Tulsi whipped Kamala in the debate because no one can roast a pig like a Hawaiian? Was that you that said that? Hilarious. No, it wasn't me that originated that joke, although it is hysterical. Yeah, the Democrats, they completely abandoned her. They totally turned on her because she had like 2 areas of disagreement with the main party line. And then they're surprised when she decides to defect and says, well, fuck you. You know, who cares? Now she's the DNI. Mr. Buster Pants, cats have a slit iris, one of the few to have them. Yeah, they have cool eyes. Pusey Slayer, only lefties can make Cybertruck owners seem sane. Mulgera, Michael Malice was the originator of the pig roasting joke. Lol. Sassmaster, do you think all the white nationalist and demographic talk on Twitter is a psyop then? People saying that Trump needs to deport 20 to 30 million people. That's not really possible, logistically speaking. I mean, in theory you could, but you'd have to work your way around the courts with regards to the right to privacy, states' rights, etc. So it's not really legally possible. I have no problem with simply going after people that have done other criminal things while being illegally in the country first. Deport them first. That's an easily accomplished task. It won't be difficult because they're known in the system because they've been processed. Then you go after people that are derelict, that are illegally in the country. Maybe they've committed no other particular crime, but they're derelict. As far as people who have family in the United States, they're married to U.S. citizen, et cetera, whether they came illegally or not, I would not bother to deport them. I would focus on other groups of people that are much more problematic. Mulgera, damn, I got to go drop shit off at the post office, so I'm going to have to leave early. Take care and clank, my friend. I will clank. Thank you very much for it. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get to our sponsors really quickly before we go into other news stories. By the way, I'm in love with this. Oh, hopefully I don't destroy anything with it accidentally. That would be a fucking problem. We'll get to our sponsors. We have cultivated-mind.com, where you can get various mushroom pills, mushroom extracts specifically. They are good for energy, anecdotally speaking, of course. Disclaimer, not medical advice. I take one every day. In fact, did I take mine this morning? I don't know that I did. So I guess if you take a second one, there's no problem. So I think this one's the radiant energy. I think that's the radiant energy. It might be the immune renew. I'm not exactly sure. We've got pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get bookmarks, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware, and much more. BiltongUSA.com. Yes, Anton, who is live over on Rumble Chat, he can hook you up with all sorts of great meat. Kavanasi, Angus, Wagyu, bison, pretty much everything under the sun. I think they've got game, they've got kangaroo and stuff like that. I'd like to try koala meat. If you can get a hold of any of that, hook me up. And also, you can get Bovrite, as well as Styx, X, and Hammer mugs and tumblers. Wicked Needle Embroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get Styx, X, and Hammer hats. We've got baseball caps. We don't have tricorns yet. They are available in several different colors and varieties. HeritageHeirloomSeedCompany.com. You can get some Styx, X, and Hammer soap there. We got the cedar clove lavender. The cedar clove and blueberry, and then the lavender marjoram. So there are 2 different bars. They've got other soaps available as well. And you can always get a seed survival bucket. Spring is approaching, so you need to plant some shit. Webster'sWares.com. /Styx-wares. We've got beanies. We've got metal straws. We've got knives. Those are important. And also very, very cutty. So be careful when you open them. Otherwise, you'll end up like I was on that live stream that one day where I was free bleeding. I wasn't even trying to self-harm. It's just it's a big problem. And finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMN bean.com, where you can get various coffees, various teas. They are delicious, by the way. I've still got some on hand, but I'm fast running out. I can't wait till the next resupply because I'm gonna need a little bit more caffeine. And then at the end of the day, you drink some herbal tea and you calm down, and then you have a good night's sleep. I haven't had a good night's sleep in a couple of days. There's a reason that I'm going live early today. Daylight savings time really beat the fuck out of me. So yeah, those are our sponsors. Dead Star X, pretty please. Can you wildly swing the flail above your head while yelling, "Hold the line"? If I was outdoors, I would do that. The best I can do is this. Hold the line. Hold the line. Yeah. It's probably best that I not fling this around next to my computer screen. Otherwise, it might die. That would be a problem. Sorry, folks. I got a Rumble rant and made a mistake, and now I can't make my videos for the next 5 or 6 days. I do like the Patriot, but I do get the reference. I do have the U.S. flag as well. I've got like 7 or 8 flags now. The Pirate flag, Minuteman flag, the Gadsden flag, the Roman flag, the Ouroboros flag, the U.S. flag. I think I've got one other, but I can't remember what it was. So, yeah, I got 6 or 7 flags at this point. Sign of Jonah. I'm paying to have videos made so you bitches will enjoy my songs more. She Cried cost me $400. So how about all of you watch it later, eh? Mexican Trumper. When Stolas connected with you, was it a visual event or a mind event? Visual. I saw it as plain as I see the screen in front of me now. So I've literally seen my old friend. Funkapuppet. I hear Canadians say their tariffs don't go into effect till they reach a certain quota, and Trump agreed to them. I have no clue what's going on with the tariffs at this point. Moop Dog. Styx. I wonder if any clankers can help my friends GoFundMe. Help Trinity battle rare brain condition. It's stuck on 89% and needs a little push. And you... Okay, well, you've got a shout out there. You sent it twice. Yeah, the Hold the Line thing was pretty great. The Patriot was an excellent movie overall. Excellent acting, excellent effects, all practical effects, none of the CGI fucking bullshit and stuff like that. I loved The Patriot. In fact, maybe I'll watch it later. Webster's Wares. Good morning, clankers. We lost our sponsorship with Styx, but not a hard feeling to be had. Still love the man. To clear out the remaining merch, we're doing a permanent 50% off sale of all Styx merch. Yes, indeed. Yes, no harm, no foul. I just wanted, more communication and to renegotiate things. But I still love Webster's Wares. And you'll still continue to get shout outs for a couple of weeks through the next week. Those were sharp blades, I've got to say. I don't know exactly how you sharpened them. Free shipping on orders over $40. And if you spend $50 or more, we will add in a free Styx item. All purchases will include a 5-pack of Styx stickers as well. Clank on, clankers. Clank until you die. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, again, no hard feelings. I'm just trying to organize things a little bit more because I'm getting more autistic about my business associations. And I will vouch for Webster's wares, definitely. You should definitely get the metal straws. That's the most important thing you can get, is a metal straw. You can use it ad nauseum. You never have to buy any of those crazy ass plastic straws, you know, probably overloading your brain with nanoparticles and stuff like that. Just get a metal straw and just get a pipe cleaner, you know, shove it in a few times, clean it out. Ta-da, you're done. So I officially will always support Webster's wares. King of Biltong, check out the latest song from Sign of Jonah on Rumble. And then there's a link over there. Interesting. Nooner Eclipse, Styx, why can't Trump give Bibi the Zelensky treatment? He needs to twist Netanyahu's arm like he did Zelensky. The problem with doing that is that a preponderance of Republicans are still evangelical neocons. So they're still gung-ho for Israel. I don't think that Trump himself really gives a damn. I think he's more like, let's do diplomacy. Styx, can we see some of your better pillaged booty? I've got all sorts of coins and shit over here. Arr, matey. I've got me treasure by my side, don't you know, with my cutlass. Sent by a subscriber, Damascus steel. One of the most beautiful blades I've ever seen. Yeah, I love this. This is one of my... I've got a bunch of cherished possessions. Most of them have been gifted to me by people who watch the channel. Cutlass, the jacket, this was gifted. The tricorn hat, which I get complimented on constantly, by the way. Flags, and certainly my Ouroboros painting. That was done years ago. There are some things that are sentimental. I would liquidate virtually every aspect of everything that I own if I needed to. But there are a handful of things I would be unwilling to part with. And it's a very, very small number of things, but they do exist. Basically, if you're seeing it in the background, it's something that I wouldn't want to let go of. That's basically the case. The YouTube play button, at this point, YouTube's useless, so I guess I can just smash it with, hey, that's an idea. How much would people pay me to smash the YouTube play button with this? To just smash it to pieces? I wonder. If I made like a GoFundMe, Styx Hexenhammer destroys his own YouTube play button or something like that, I wonder how much money I could raise. That could work. Because then I could mount Stolas and the other picture up behind me, and it would make more room. I looked up the prices some time ago for the play buttons. Apparently, they can sell for $2,000-3,000 because there aren't that many of them. So, I don't know. Webster's wares. We respect you until we die, Styx. Still watch the videos and happily wear our clanker gear. Once we make more, we will look to get sponsored again. All straws come with a free cleaning brush. Andrew Van Halen, have you heard the new Ghost song? Ooh, no, but I love Ghost. I didn't know they made a new song. You gotta realize, YouTube doesn't really notify me of jack shit. So I don't know when people, like, I haven't seen a notification from Ramsey Paul, for example, in over a year. Even though I'm subscribed to him, I have notifications on. I follow him on Twitter. I never see him on Twitter either. He makes tweets regularly, but I almost never see him. There are some of us who have been algorithmically demoted to the point where we almost don't exist on these mainline platforms. I am one of them. Ramsey Paul, the golden one, has been clearly algorithmically demoted. among many others. It's a real problem. The Gunslinger, better idea. Remove the YouTube logo and change it for the Styx Ouroboros. Tasmanaut, I smashed all my trophies. It was cathartic. Yeah, well, I wouldn't want to get rid of the ones from Rumble and BitChute because I value new tech. But, yeah, I should smash the YouTube play button to show my contempt. Sawbox, yeah, Styx. We all know you want to mount Stolas. Oh, my. Not in that way. Yeah, Ghost has a new song. I gotta look that up. I'll look at that later. By the way, I had a friend over the other day, and we had pizza, and then there was an extra pizza that was ordered, and she was going to take it actually to her friend, and they were going to share that, but forgot it. So I've eaten nothing but pizza for the most part, and the hot dogs and beans that I had last night for the last 3 days. So, I might have an interesting bowel movement later. Yeah. Blazing Pyro. P. Diddy is covered in fecal matter from Bubba. No lube in the pen. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, one of the pizzas was my standard. Extra cheese with mushrooms and artichokes on it. Another one was, what the fuck was it? It had olive and sausage, I think. And then the third one had applewood smoked bacon with olives and apple slices, actually. They were all good. They were from Hop and Moose, by the way, which is owned by Rutland Beer Works. And they have like a full bar in there and stuff like that. And oh, Dave, Twitter permaban for talking about pedophiles. Yeah, you got to be careful. It's funny because you can be critical of like a criminal organization, but the way you say it matters, and so you can get banned anyway. Hello, Kina. One tall order. Styx, you mentioned it on stream yesterday. I know Blues Brothers would be right up your alley. The car chase scene at the end is one of the most hilarious things ever put to film. Yeah, that's apparently something that I need to see. Shit, we still got more news to cover. Give me a couple of minutes, by the way. I will be right back. I'm going to stop the cam and mute this. I need to use the bathroom. It's a big problem. Again, I told you, I've eaten almost nothing but pizza for 3 days. At some point, the dam has got to burst. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. It's interesting. Yeah, I basically ate 3 pizzas over the last couple of days. Then I had hot dogs and baked beans last night. I wish I had had some of those turnip greens. There's canned turnip greens, and I never knew that this was a thing actually before, but they're actually pretty good. Not as good as fresh from the garden and steamed, but actually pretty tasty. Did you wash your hands, young man? Always, by the way. I don't understand when people don't wash their hands after they, do the obvious. So, yeah, we got Tulsi Gabbard calling out a bunch of people. What else did we have in the docket? Oh, yes, we got to get to the price of eggs. Egg prices down precipitously over the last week, 11%. Donald Trump is not going to get any credit for this. It's funny because the Krasensteins were talking about the price of eggs being too high, notoriously after Trump was elected, as though he immediately impacted the economy. But then they stopped talking about it more recently over the last week. I wonder why, along with other liberal commentators. I think that we all know the reason. And the fact is, they'll give Trump the blame when things go wrong, but they won't give him any credit when things are going right. I, for one, welcome the drop in price of eggs because I really want to make deviled eggs soon. And I make them like a fucking boss, let me tell you. Yeah. You're all invited over to my house for limitless deviled eggs. You can have them with dill. You can have them with paprika. You can use different kinds of mustard. You can use different proportions of mustard to mayonnaise. As long as you hard boil them properly, everything else pretty much falls into place. I love deviled eggs, by the way. I can eat them by the dozen. You hard boil an egg, you chop it in half, pull out the yolk, then you mix that yolk with mayonnaise and mustard and squirt it back into the egg, basically. That's all you have to do. You can do whatever toppings you want. I've seen people use other things too, like some people like to salt it. I'm not really a fan of that. Mostly paprika and dill. Those are the 2 big ones. Delicious. I make perfect deviled eggs. I'm just saying. Now we have to talk about the Romanian election, however. Apparently, in the nation of Romania, the idea of democracy is that you defend it by destroying it. So Georgescu, who is the marginally nationalist leader who literally won the last election, which they nullified, is no longer allowed to run. You are not allowed to vote for the person that won the election. This is democracy in action, my friends. You're not allowed to vote for the person that people voted for in the first place. They've effectively nullified his standing. This is a little bit odd. It's odd. Weren't liberals in the West talking about the necessity of defending democracy? I believe that they were. It appears that they are negligent in doing so now. That's because of the person who won the election. They just don't like the person who happened to be the front runner. Why don't you instead, if you're sane and reasonable, ask yourself why somebody who's well outside of the general orthodoxy of politics would be the front runner? They don't have the self-reflection necessary to do so, and some of them are just too corrupt to care. One tall order, people that don't wash their hands after using the restroom? Surely the 1964 Hart-Celler Immigration Act would have nothing to do with this. Yeah, no, if I'm just pissing, it's not necessary. You rinse your hands off. If I take a shit, yes, I'm going to wash my hands thoroughly afterwards. It's like I see you go into a men's restroom, and keep in mind, I've told the story of men's versus women's restrooms and how women's restrooms are much more filthy. Like you'll see used tampons lying around and weird shit like that. So I can only imagine what happens in there with regards to hand washing etiquette. I would say that maybe 50% of the men that use the restroom and are clearly shitting, not pissing, clean their hands. And some of them clean them after they piss too. I myself don't have a problem with that because it's like I'm keeping my dick clean. All it is piss. It's pretty sterile to begin with. And I don't have any STDs or any shit like that. But if I take a poop, yes, I'm going to wash my hands. Are you a barbarian? Mexican Trumper is now a monthly supporter. Thank you very much, by the way. Yeah, I loved that piss channel that Sigil sent. It wasn't the same one that I had seen back in the day, but it's still fucking funny. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great one. Chuckles. As someone who used to work maintenance, the email in women's restrooms can be stomach turning. Yeah, you'll see like they'll leave their used tampons in the stalls. There'll be menstrual pads everywhere. They didn't make it to the trash. Leaving their piss and shit in the toilets and stuff. Like you think that men, oftentimes men get cast off as uncouth. We're the barbarians. We're hairy and smelly and stuff like that. Ho ho ho! Fuck you. No, women are the ones that are foul when it comes to bathroom etiquette. I don't know. I never knew this before I had to actually work in a bathroom. I had no clue. Men are like the worst thing they'll do is they'll put graffiti in the stall or something and say like for a good time call Cecilia here, and then they'll have a number, or they'll tell bawdy jokes or something like that, or remark upon other people and make political humor, stuff like that. That's pretty much the limitation. Occasionally you'll find an unflushed toilet. It's uncommon. You go to the woman's room. And again, I worked for some time in plant and soil science in UVM, and one of my tasks was clean out the bathrooms that are here. The woman's room, there are tampons everywhere. There are people bitching out their own friends in the graffiti. Like it's way more vicious than anything you see in the men's room. And you'd find like menstrual pads, unflushed toilets, piss on the floor, like for absolutely no reason, because it's like, if you have to sit down to piss, how can you not make it into the toilet? So clearly you did it on purpose. And it was over and over again. It was insane. And I was like, eventually I was like, Jesus Christ, thank God I have a cock. thank God I can use the other restroom. Holy shit. Brad Armstrong, so much toilet talk. You had a real job, Styx? Several of them. Spike, at bars, I don't wash my hands. Some sinks are nasty. And wash it with the liquor, I guess. That'll disinfect it generally. No, I mean, it made no sense. Because I always figured like we're hairy, we're smelly, we're ape-like, and insane, basically. And I figured women are like tee-hee, tickle-tee, and it's like unicorns and rainbows and stuff. That's what I thought when I was a kid. And I mean, to some degree, I still do. Women are cute. Girls are cute. But your bathroom etiquette, to all of the females out there, really, really lacks. I don't understand what's wrong with you. I don't understand it. Men are like, they try to be respectful. Yeah, you'll get some body humor and poetry and weird shit in the graffiti. And occasionally you get that one person who shits on the wall or something like that, although that's not common. But in the woman's room, it's like basically depraved. It's like going to hell. Anaho Dave, women are like the best gun in Fallout, spray and pray. My favorite gun too, by the way. You are a man of taste. Brad Armstrong, tell us about your job, Styx, please. Well, I've done some freelance work. I've done painting. I've done pond clearing. I've done cabinetry. I've done my work study, obviously. I've done student alumni calling at UVM. I sabotaged that job because I became detestable towards it. And then I became self-employed, although I almost became a short-haul trucker, actually. For this area, it wouldn't have been a bad wage, by the way. Almost became an architect, too. Lisa Fenwick, I've never seen any of that in a woman's bathroom. Well, then maybe this was a particularly bad woman's bathroom. But yeah, at least at UVM, maybe marijuana or alcohol were involved. At least at UVM, the women's bathroom in the plant and soil science area, at least when it was plant and soil science, I think they've moved to a new building, was absolutely detestable and foul. Far, far more than the men's room. Nooner Eclipse. Styx, what do you mean he doesn't care? Trump is still too close to Bibi. Netanyahu is no different than Putin, Zelensky, other globalist leaders. True to an extent, yeah, I would agree. Bog, I deliver the groceries to Kroger, mateys. The Happy Plague Doctor, how the fuck do you almost become an architect? I took four levels of architectural studies when I was at high school, so fairly qualified for such a role, doing AutoCAD and things like that. I can work my way around that pretty quickly. Although I haven't used it in a while, so I'd have to adapt to the new process that they inevitably use. But there was an architectural understudy opening available. This was right before the 2016 election, and I actually did apply for it. And when I blew up, I knew that I'd had my chance, and so I decided not to go with that. I think I made the right decision. Same with the short haul trucking. Both of those positions were open, and I had already applied for them right before the election happened. And then all of a sudden I gained 14,000 subscribers over the course of 2 days, and the rest is history. I figured, why not capitalize on this? Why not make this my job? Why not be self-employed? It's not that they would be bad jobs, by the way. Short haul trucking, that sounds pretty fun. You know, you get to drive around, listen to your music, and then you ship the freight and call it a day. Architecture, that's a big thing, and it pays fairly good money. As like what was it, like $25 an hour to start or something like that? It was a pretty good for Rutland. It was a pretty good salary. It wouldn't be bad, not at all. But I can make more money doing what I'm doing now, have more influence doing what I'm doing now, and I'm more happy doing what I do now. But yeah, it was like the short haul was like, if I remember, $22 an hour to start, which isn't bad. Again, for Rutland, because of the economy at the time, $22 an hour was pretty great, actually. It's certainly well beyond burger flipping wages. And the architectural job was $25 an hour to start. Or actually, no, it was 35 an hour to start. So if I had gotten my foot in the door, that wouldn't be bad now, would it? Yeah, Mr. Right. I'm used to turning women, most turn lesbian when they see me. I love a person who can do self-deprecation jokes. I don't turn them lesbian, I turn them asexual. Dead Star X, Styx, I'll never give up hope that this gig puts out enough money in your pocket for a couple 100 acres and a firing range for your Napoleonic cannon collection. That would be cool. I would like to fire a cannon. Yeah, that would be excellent. Celestial, here I sit, broken-hearted, came to shit, but only farted. The poop stool poet. I've seen that before several times. There was another variation of it. What was it? I can't remember, but I've definitely seen that in graffiti. Not just at UVM, by the way. At the China Light, at the toilet at Hampton Beach one time when I was a kid. Yeah, I've seen it on multiple occasions. Jim Morrison, from the 1830s until the last 10 years or so, Congress did not allow headdresses to be worn in session. This policy should be reinstated. Hats are often symbols, flags, signs of allegiance. Speaking as a person who wears a tricorn basically everywhere, I don't believe in banning hats in Congress. I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with the people in Congress. I don't really give a crap what they wear. Look at John Fetterman. The sanest man in the Democratic Party wears a hoodie and shorts on a daily basis. Well, take it or leave it. The sanest person in your political party is a person with brain damage. That speaks very well of you. I'm fingering an asshole, man. I gotta say, Anton, God, you supply the good stuff. You know, there's a little bit of an underbite in there, and I can't quite describe it. It almost tastes a little bit like concentrated celery, but I don't think there's any celery in there. I don't think. I'm assuming there's celery in the vegetable protein. There's a little bit of that snap to it, if that makes sense. You know how celery salt. I always use celery salt in my cooking whenever possible, by the way. I find it much better than regular salt. The gunslinger. Why do you trust Fetterman when he constantly votes left against Republicans? Oh, no, I'm not saying that I trust him. I'm just saying that he's the only pragmatically sane person in the Democratic Party. I don't side with him ideologically in any way. Green Terror. Here I sit in silent bliss, listening to the fall of piss. There was one time when I was a kid. I think I was like 11 or something. We went to Hampton Beach. I love going to Hampton Beach, by the way. I'm going there this summer, definitely. I'm not missing out on that again. Went to Hampton Beach and used one of the public toilets that was there. And there was an entire wall of goddamn graffiti there. And I wish that when I was younger, I had had like a smartphone like I have now, because I would have taken pictures of some of the crazy shit that was being written there. Some of it clearly from people that were inebriated or on drugs. One of them was it was 5 or 6 paragraphs long. This person must have been taking a long shit when they wrote it. And it was all about why Black people could run fast. And it was the most racist thing that I've ever seen in my life. And most of it made no sense. I think that they were probably on drugs, but it was hilarious too. And I lament the fact that I wasn't able to photograph it at the time, because now I'll never see it again. And I can't remember exactly how it went. Or it was like, it had something to do with fleeing animals. I don't know. The way that they worded it was so deadpan that it became funny. Nashville cat. Mexicans have very large dicks. Lol. Yeah, this particular joke was definitely It was written by somebody who was racist against black people. Grill of the Valley. What's that banging noise every minute or so? I think if it's that, it's my foot hitting the edge of the railing down here. Jessica Isaac, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. Agreed. I want to go to Mexico at some point, actually. Yeah, I'd like to go to Mexico, India, Iceland, Ireland, and a few other places. Japan. I'd like to do a little bit of traveling. You got to realize, though, I tend to be an extreme introvert. If I get into the party zone, I tend to be more extroverted. I can draw off of energy. At all other times, I'm very, very much introverted, especially if I have something to do. So if I'm just traveling around, let's say I go to Japan. If I go to Party Zone Tokyo, I'm going to be dancing around and doing crazy shit. Anywhere else, I'm going to be like sort of huddled up, closed body language, and be very introverted. It's just sort of the way that I am. Mexican Trumper. If you do, I have a guest bedroom in the swankest neighborhood in CD, Mexico. What's CDMX to Mexican Trumper? No, I mean, I would gladly accept the offer. Authentic Mexican food made by authentic Mexican people. I can make tacos like a boss, but it's not going to be as good as the authentic shit. Ciudad de Mexico. Oh, wow. I gladly accept your offer. It'll have to wait until after my trial date in April, but yeah, I would love to come down. That would be fun. And hang out with Ethan Ralph, maybe. He's had a few problems, but he's trying to clean himself up. I wish him well. That would be one hell of a party. Holy shit. The Gunslinger. Wear casual and poor in Mexico. No flashy stuff. Oh, I'm going to dress the same way I'm dressed right now. Jim Morrison. Omar wears her headgear to show she is allied with you-know-who. You of all people should understand this nonverbal language, this statement. I do, but I don't really give a shit. If she wants to wear the head wrap and fuck her brother, which she apparently has, and stuff like that, it's no business of mine. She's not my representative. I don't pay her my tax money. The Gunslinger. Carry gun then, lol. Yeah. One tall order. Now that it's heading into spring, I think I might send you a HEPA air purifier in a few weeks. They have helped me with my cat allergy. Maybe it'll help you with your tree sperm affliction. You can send one to me, but the chances of it actually working, given the number of pine trees around this house, we can try it. Yeah. Dairyville Dave. Read this on a bathroom wall once. Some come here to sit and think. Some come here to sit and stink. I come here to scratch my balls and read the BS on the walls. Very poetic. Anyways, I'm going to go offline here, and I'll docket news for tomorrow. Keep in mind, tomorrow at 1 p.m. I do the Jeremy stream as well. I've got to conk out, though, for a little while, because the daylight savings time really has beaten the shit out of me. That's why I probably seem a little bit scatterbrained right now. It's like my body thinks that it's an hour back. And so last night, I conked out. I sleep for like 2 or 3 hours. I wake up. I putter around for a while. I conk out. I sleep for 2 or 3 hours. I wake up. I putter around for a while. Then I sleep for another 2 or 3 hours. Isn't that wonderful? There's a reason why I made that video on ending daylight savings time. It really is an existential crisis when you think about it. It makes absolutely no sense. So yes, while I would like to be live for 20 or 30 hours in a row and just ramble and react to your comments, I must do docketing work. And maybe I'll tomorrow. I've thought about this. The thing, the date's 1986. I've thought about making a video, where I'm just Ozzy Osbourne the entire time, and I'm Ozzy, and talk about the drugs that I've used, the things like that. Anyway, yeah. Ozzy Osbourne impression aside, or I can do a Bernie Sanders stream or something like that. That would be funny. You're a bunch of loony Britishers. I mean, literally, I wish that I could stream for another hour or something like that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do so. I think I still have a news story to get to. Oh, yeah, we have to talk about 538 still, actually. Well, I don't have anything else on the schedule anyway. Just give me a second here, okay? So that I can, refill my cup because my water's almost gone and go pee and so forth. Just give me a moment. Use drugs is a big problem. All right, everyone. Ozzy Osbourne is back. It's time for the live stream. Got my water refilled. Took a piss. Taking the piss sometimes. Piss and vinegar. I'm just having fun at this point. This is now a rant stream. We've gotten through most of the news, although I think... Yeah, we've got to talk about 538. 538 has been shut down. Nate Silver had already left the organization before it was axed, actually, by the legacy media. And the reason why it was axed was, according to sources that I'm familiar with, RCP did a really, really good job of calculating what the end result of the election would be. Our 538, meanwhile, sort of tilted and cherry-picked a little bit. And the problem is that when you're in polling, you need to be accurate. This is what I ascribe to do. I don't care what the result is. I mean, well, I care, but at the same time, I care more about, in my self-interest, being accurate about what that polling actually means. So I try to go as wide as possible and look at the polls, see what's actually happening, and what is true is more important than what I want if I'm going to do the pollster thing. And 538 simply didn't cut it. They were trying to cherry pick, they were trying to do push polling, etc. And it didn't really work out well for them. So now Disney has cut them loose. Yes, Disney apparently had acquired 538 blog, which is hysterical to me. It's absolutely hilarious when you think about it. RCP has always done a better job. That's why I always use them, because they deliberately present both sides of the argument. There's no push polling. There's no weighting of polls or anything like that. And they're simply trying to present you with the truth as it is. You may not like that truth, but it's the truth anyway. For instance, if something is either A or B, and the polls say that they are overwhelmingly in favor of A. So let's say they're overwhelmingly in favor of chocolate ice cream over vanilla. You may like vanilla ice cream, but that doesn't mean that the general population is agreeing with you. It's something like that. My favorite ice cream was from the Mountain Creamery. They used to have this ice cream. Oh, it was great. It was a chocolate ice cream with Oreos in it. And it was amazing, let me tell you, as a kid. I don't eat ice cream much anymore, but if I was going to eat ice cream, that would be the one that I would choose. Patriotic Gestalt, Respite Token. Respite Token. BW, what do you think about Massey? Can Elon get rid of him? I think they might be able to knock him off, actually. That's entirely possible. Anyways, is it going to devolve into the Aussie stream? From now on, I'm going to speak as Ozzy Osbourne. Ubuk says that I like good vanilla. That's what I'm talking about. I love doing impressions. I could do Bernie Sanders too. Lemon curd zero. The accent goes well with the hat, Styx. Yeah, Ozzy is definitely one of the great ones. There are some people that are like, well, Ozzy's a sellout. Ozzy, he fucked up somehow. Fuck it. He's Ozzy Osbourne. He's allowed to fuck up. Fireburn is saying, sorry, but your Aussie sucks. You need British accent? I think that's what I'm doing right now. You do a better one. Let me see your Aussie accent. Brad Armstrong saying, do you sing? Are you a good dancer? I've actually got songs on my channel that I did with Gifts Ungiven that have been buried in the algorithms, of course. And yes, I am actually a good dancer. I just don't really like to do that much. Generally, I have to be in the presence of other high energy people in order to dance at all. I can do the time warp, though. I love doing that. At the end, when you crumple down to the floor, that's always funny. But yes, I have sang multiple songs. Look up Gifts Ungiven, Styx, Hexenhammer. We did an album's worth of songs, actually, back in the day. The Gunslinger. Aussie thoughts on Dio. I like Holy Diver over Train. Dio was better as a singular artist. So when he was solo, he's better than Ozzy. Ozzy was better as the frontman of Black Sabbath. Not saying that I don't like either of them as part of either group. I'm just saying that Dio's work was generally better when he was solo, when he had full creative capabilities. And Ozzy is better when he's in an atmosphere where he's supported with other people. This is why he had his career evolution when he met Sharon and her father, who managed him, in the 80s. He was basically renting out a motel room and drinking himself to death. And then Sharon sort of, picked him up. And then that's when he had a career revival. I prefer Ozzy over Dio, generally speaking. I think that he's one of the most gifted artists of all time, actually. I'm Team Ozzy. But I would say that there were a couple of hits that Ronnie James Dio made that really knocked it out of the park. Holy Diver, the Rainbow in the Dark, some of those things. Wine Country Stockin sent $5. No comment. Thank you. Yeah, at this point, this is now the Bant stream. Yeah, Mexican Trumper. I am on my 4th coffee cup by now. That's what I'm talking about. Well, if I come down to Mexico, I'll bring a bag of the Clank Blend, and we can suck that down. Just need to find some cute Mexican girls. Oh my God. Not gonna lie, I have a thing for Latinas. The Rover. Well, you're deflating now. Better go take some continuing education, because this has shit the bed, my man. Command mom to fix it. Lol. I get the reference, by the way. No, I think that when 3,000 people are watching your live stream and when tens of thousands of people watch your shit every day, you probably don't have any problems. I'm not particularly worried. Plus, I've still sold over 500,000 volumes of my edited works on Amazon alone, so I have a considerable amount of continuing income. I have no problems. I'm capable of taking care of the people around me that I take care of. I don't really care for myself as much. I only care for those that are around me. Them, I will support to the absolute last. As far as myself, I don't care whether I live or die, dude. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to Mexico soon. That sounds fun. Let's see. Snozzlehead. Aiden Ross already gave Trump a Cybertruck. Yeah, apparently he's buying another one. I mean, Trump has the kind of fuck you money where he can buy like 10 cars in a day and not really care about it. So apparently he's going to do that. Fireburn. You don't care for yourself? What happened, man? No, it's more like I care for others more than I care for myself. It's not that I want to die or be harmed or anything like that, or live under a bridge. It's more like I'm self-sacrificial sometimes. I care more about the people that I care about than I care about myself, if that makes sense. And that's why I work so hard. I figure if I can make somebody else's life nice and happy and comfortable, and I care about them, why wouldn't I do that, Colonel Clonk. Trump is not allowed to drive, though. Good point. There is apparently a rule that presidents of the United States are not allowed to actually drive vehicles. They have to be driven around by the Secret Service mainly. I didn't know this until recently. They spoke about it when Biden became president, because he has a love for cars. I don't think you'd want him to be your driver at this point, by the way. Just saying. That one of the things that he lamented about the job was that he wasn't allowed to drive his cars anymore, actually. And I can imagine that's probably, fact check, probably mostly true. WEM, there are 1,200 on both watching live. Numbers don't lie. What the fuck, Styx? Well, there are 2,000 people watching on YouTube, over 600 on Rumble, and then whatever number of people watching on Twitter. Unfortunately, I can't live navigate that at the same time. So yeah, it'd be over 3,000 people, presumptively. Mexican Trumper. The Prince of Monaco, ironically, is not allowed to drive too. Monaco, Jesus Christ. That would suck. Hey, Prince, sorry, but you can't drive this new Porsche. Yes, Fireburn, I am live on Twitter. I don't know how many people are tuning in, though. At this point, Super Kyle, 600 people watching on YouTube. No, it's 2,000, actually. I'm literally looking live at the number because StreamYard doesn't collate the number of viewers from Rumble. I have to look at that separately in a different tab. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the 663 is on Rumble, not on YouTube. I've got over 1,000 people watching on X, says the 5 o'clock news. Well, to the people on Twitter, I had no clue I had that kind of audience on there. Ha ha ha, 666. What a coincidence. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I'm just mouthing off. I'm just saying what I want to say. And I get paid a little bit of money for it, so it's all good. I'm just hanging out at this point. This has become a rant stream more than anything else. One thing I did want to check. Just a second, everyone. Okay, so I got through all the news. That's all done. And keep in mind, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be live with Jeremy as well. That's after my live stream at 11. I go live at 11, go for about an hour, presumptively take a little bit of a break, and then I go on with Jeremy after about an hour after that. Let me check this. Yeah, okay. No news updates. I've thought about doing a 24/7 stream and literally just inviting you into the bedroom and aiming the camera at me, and then I just go to sleep and seeing what happens the next day. But then I'd probably say something in my sleep that would get me banned or something like that. Budweiser with the hard R or something like that. That would be funny. Idaho Dave. Big Mike drove Obama around using a special Dutch rudder. He wants to be Amaranth. Jesus. Garrett Thomas. Styx forgets he's streaming and starts to cuff one out on stream. Yeah, I've thought about doing like a nighttime stream where I just keep the lights on and then pass out at some point. And then people can literally just watch me sleep. Apparently, this is a thing among some content creators. I don't really get it, but if other people are into it, maybe, I guess. You can look at my feet while I sleep. Some people might be into that. Who fucking knows? Now, I promise not to beat off when I'm on the stream. Flynn, usually it's hot women doing sleep streams. Yeah, but apparently people are into this. I don't know. Maybe it's the pirate gear. Maybe it's the fact that I actually look good. You know, some people, when they're approaching 40, they've let themselves go. This is me. Just saying. Yeah. I'll sleep with the Mardi Gras beads and the jacket and everything. I saw there was one video. This was a couple of weeks ago. Didn't Ethan Ralph, didn't he pass out on a live stream? Did he ever explain exactly what happened there? Like, was he intoxicated or had a blood pressure problem or a heart condition or something? I don't know that he explained it. Adonis Adams, how do I study political campaigns like the kind Brandon Herrera did? It's easy to study political campaigns. Just look at the linguistics. That would be my best advice. That's the best thing that I can coach you on. Is it sloganeering or is it meaningful? Is there a center behind it or is it basically just empty, vacuous words? That's the most important thing. Be like music. Been watching you for years, Styx. Stay sexy and smart as usual. Clank Nation all day. Oh my. I shall stay sexy. King of Biltong. I don't know where half the people make their money. I work very hard and never have enough. I must be doing something wrong. Yeah, by something wrong, you're not a contributor to the Democratic Party for money laundering purposes. Tim D. Styx, still mad at you since you made me pull my Biden bet, so I will troll. Well, you're welcome to troll. Please, Labs. All I spend my money on is beer and weed. Eventually, you'll get malnutrition. At least take a multivitamin. By the way, I want everyone who is in chat, cross-platform, to look one thing up. Look up Chicken Fucker with what's the fuck? Here, let me look it up. I'm just gonna Devil's Read. Look up Chicken Fucker from the Devil's Rejects. I'm going to post it on both platforms. Go ahead and watch that. That's one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your fucking life. Garrett Thomas pulled up to an Elon Musk protest in Biddeford, Maine a few days ago, rolled my window down and asked, "You guys retarded?" Also use some more colorful language that begins with F. I can imagine. I don't approve of chicken fucking. God, I'm going to watch that later. Sorry, but not sorry. I just have fun. Peen Wienerstein. Styx, I'm at work. I'm not looking that up. Lol. Jake, what the fuck is this shit? It's from Devil's Rejects. It's a Rob Zombie movie. He did a real good job. He's got a warped sense of humor, fairly dark and highly sexualized at times. He's got basically the sense of humor that I have, actually. I'm just having fun at this point. We're going on hour 2. Gestapo Styx would be a pretty sweet costume. Yeah, I'm not into fascism. One tall order. At this point, I'm convinced that 9 out of 10 people that look like they're making it are just swimming in debt, just to keep up appearances and with the Joneses. 90K pickup and a 750K house on a 50K salary. Yeah, there is a lot of yuppieism, actually. People will take out debt and they'll, they buy the dishwasher and they buy the clothes washer and stuff like that, all on card. And so they look like they're making it, but they're not really making it. Other people are making it, though. They're draining off that debt, getting the interest. This is why I never use a credit card. If I was going to buy a house, I would do it in cold hard cash or a car or anything like that. I'm not going to take out debt again anytime in my life. I'd rather live under a goddamn bridge. Book. Belton Road is a loan scam. Yes, you've got it right on that one. Probably something I should address. I love at the end of that when the deformed dude says, "You inbred." That's pretty funny. Yeah, I would rather use cold hard cash for my purchases. I'm not really interested in taking out credit. I dealt with student loans. It was not fun. I managed to pay them off. Why the hell should I take out more debt? It makes absolutely no sense. We should be more like the Netherlands, actually, honestly. In the Netherlands, like to get a rental or something like that, or to get a car, it really is more based on your income than it is your credit score, for example. In the United States, a person that has a significant amount of income can still have a poor credit score. A person who has relatively less income can have a better credit score. It makes absolutely no goddamn sense at all. Jim Morrison, decorum. Representative Green was an asshat. In court, hats come off. Same should apply in Congress. Hats off in Congress, same as court. It's about respect. I slightly disagree. I don't really care if somebody wears a hat in Congress. We've got Fetterman walking around in shorts in Congress, and he doesn't get a breach of decorum ruling against him. I don't really care if somebody wears a hat or a head wrap. Like, if I was in Congress, don't you think I'd be wearing the tricorn? Of course I would. I'd be looking like it was 1790 or something like that. Of course I'm going to wear that. I'm going to be the vampire of Congress. So I don't really care. Dark Star. I can't imagine searching for chicken fucker could have never negative effects on your suggestions. Well, then you turn that telemetry off. Celestial. I took out debt to buy my business. Good debt makes you money. Yes, if you know that you can do it and you know that there will be, a return, then that's one thing. But in many cases, people take out debt for the wrong reasons. It depends on what you're taking it out for. Like when I took out my student loan debt, It was for my education, of course. And ultimately, it paid off, even though I didn't get a degree. The fact that I studied linguistics and certain aspects of religion and English and things like that really, really paid off. But it didn't pay off for everyone. Some people got saddled with that debt and it didn't pay off and they ended up flipping burgers. So there's a difference ultimately in the end. You have to judge yourself fairly and say, do I have the skills to enter this field? And is this field something that really I'm going to be able to enter in the first place? Is it something where I'm going to have a job opportunity? Am I willing to relocate? Because I may very well have to do so. And that's what people have to ask themselves when they go to college. I'm glad that I went to UVM and to Castleton to take linguistic anthropology, the archaeology of the Caribbean. That was a very good course. I'm glad that I took a course on Islam, which it was a basic bitch course when I signed up for it. The very next year, they moved it to an intermediate course. Yeah, I could have gotten those intermediate credits, actually, but they hadn't moved it up yet. I took plant and soil science to a degree, among other things, chemistry, organic and inorganic, and so forth. I took all sorts of insane courses there. It was very, very fun. College can be a very, very fun time, by the way, but you're going to run yourself, unless you're from a wealthy family, into debt. That's just the way that it's going to go. You're going to have to take out loans in order to go to your university, at least if you're in the United States. In my case, I didn't have any close relative that I was in communication with that had gone to college, other than my dad taking a single semester when he was in the Marine Corps, and which he basically blew off anyway because he was too busy shooting guns and fighting the Viet Cong and stuff like that. Other than that, I never had anyone close to me that had actually gone through college. I'm the first one, and I didn't even graduate. But I did do 3.5 years. And so I did get a good education anyway. I just don't have the magical piece of paper saying that I attended those courses. Jim Morrison, Chicken Lover was a South Park episode. Chicken Fucker is a movie. Styx should run for a seat. Yeah, I often get people telling me I should run for office. As a joke, I made one video years ago saying I was running for the governor's slot in Vermont. Got 16 votes, and mine was not one of them because I just didn't vote for the governor at all. So apparently there were, a few clankers in the state that thought that I would make a good governor. It was hilarious at the time. I think I came in 4th, actually. That's quite something. That'll be on historical records for as long as those historical records survive, by the way. I've thought about running for office, but then I think to myself, do I really want to dedicate that amount of time to a thankless job where you get no actual support, where even people that like you ideologically will breathe down your neck if you don't do exactly what they want? And the answer is no. I'm not interested in public office. I mean, maybe I would run for mayor of Rutland just for, the shits and giggles, and could probably make it. I mean, who are you going to vote for? The dude in a suit who's boring, or the pirate that says fuck a lot? I think you know that who you would vote for. Yeah, I'll be a pirate governor, and I'll say, well, we're going to begin keel hauling people if they fuck up. Rutland County, I believe, has a small amount of swampy frontage in Lake Champlain, so we can probably make that work. So we're going to keel haul, people who fuck up. I'm going to keel haul my political opposition, make him walk the plank into the swamp. That sounds good. And stuff like that. Daniel Name, Wikipedia calls you a far-right YouTuber. There's an entry about me on Wikipedia. This is news to me. Billy, Styx, did you watch the new Sam Hyde show? No, not yet. I haven't seen it. As mayor of Rutland City, I promise the following. Number one, I'm going to try to get the budget under control because everyone cares about that, including the leftoids. Number two, we will have pirates at the next march during Halloween. When the parade happens, which is actually a big parade, we will have a pirate float, and I will be captain of that pirate float. I promise you this. Number three, I'll tell the city council members to fuck themselves and stuff like that. I promise to be edgy. That would probably be a good mayoral run, actually. It could actually work in a place like Rutland. Rutland tends to be the more 50-50, sort of down-to-earth part of Vermont, but that doesn't mean that it's not a bit eclectic. I promise that future elections will be determined by who can drink the other person under the table. Yeah, something like that. You propose zany things, and people will find it hilarious, and then they will gravitate towards you. You've got to be unique. Most local politicians, they're not. Yeah, Brad Armstrong. You should have a few wenches around you during lives. Yeah, I've got to get someone who's willing to wear like scantily clad pirate gear, and then we could do that. Bipedal species. I thought it was Pilates they wanted, not pirates. No, we'll have a duel in order to determine who the next mayor is. So, I'll grab my sword, they grab theirs, and then, whoever wins, they're the new mayor. Is that any different from so-called democracy anyway? Democracy is 51% of idiots vote for one person and 49% voted for the other. How is that fundamentally different from just having them try to stab each other? I don't see a big difference, honestly, at least on the local level. Anyways, I'm going to go offline because at some point I've got to docket tomorrow's news, and I don't want to run up against Jeremy, and we're getting towards noon. Also, at some point, I think I need to eat because eating is generally recommended as part of your daily practice to prevent you from dying. Just a second here, though. What is this? Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm going to go offline, docket my news, and then I'm going to go and have a snack, and then I'll be back tomorrow. That's about all. Peace out.